What's going on, guys? The biggest thing I'm hearing right now is, Chandler, I can't find deals. And so in this video, I'm gonna explain why you're not finding deals and what I would do to fix it. If you're new to the channel, I'm 34 years old and I've been investing in real estate for the last 10 plus years. I currently own over 225 units of residential real estate. I also own a bunch of commercial buildings and storage units. The reason that I decided to make this video is I'm hearing on a daily basis, Chandler, I can't find deals. And so I'm gonna break down exactly what you need to be doing. And if you do these things, I promise you, you'll be finding deals. The first big reason people are struggling to find deals is they don't have a plan. This means that they don't have the money for a down payment and they don't know where it's going to come from. They don't have financing in place. They don't have management in place. And most importantly, they don't have a buy box. Now, if you don't know what a buy box is, this is where you put down everything that you're looking for. And if a property meets that criteria, then you buy it. If it doesn't, you don't. And I tell people they should get extremely specific when it comes to location, the number of units, what kind of cash-on-cash return that this specific property should have, what kind of state the property is in, what kind of age, whether you're gonna take on renovations, what kind of specific niche you wanna find, whether that's adding value through renovations or just increasing rent or some other form. If you can get extremely specific with your buy box, if you know exactly what kind of financing you're gonna use and you're pre-approved, and if you have a management company in place so that you know what kind of rents a property can bring and what kind of management is going to be there to take over the property and make sure that those rents and expenses stay consistent. If you can get all of these things in place and have a specific plan, then it's gonna be so much easier to find the right kind of property and be prepared to pull the trigger. However, most people I talk to have no idea on any of this. They don't have management, they don't have financing, they don't have a buy box, and they're saying, Chandler, I'm just not having any deal flow. And it's like, look, I could put the best property in the world in front of you and you still would have no deal flow because you don't have a structured list of what you're actually looking for. And if you don't have a plan and a structured list of what you're looking for, well, odds are you're never going to find it. Now, if you do have a plan in place and all of these things that I've talked about, the next major issue that people run into is they're not willing to reverse engineer that plan and put it into micro steps that they can take. What this means is you might have a buy box and management and everything else, but now you need to know what to do to actually get to the end goal of purchasing that property. That means, how are you going to actually find this specific deal? That means, how many offers are you going to put in? That means, how are you going to get to the place where you have a down payment? How many years is that going to take you, or months? Or what kind of sacrifices are you going to make financially to be able to get the down payment? What kind of steps are you gonna have to go to get financing in place? How many management companies are you gonna have to meet with? And what questions are you going to ask them? All of these things need to be broken down into micro steps. And then once all of these micro steps are in place, that leads to the next major issue, and that's holding yourself accountable to actually take these steps. Now, after working with hundreds of sales reps that have wanted to invest in real estate, then getting into YouTube, doing multiple consulting calls, creating a community for real estate investors, I've had the opportunity to meet with hundreds, if not thousands, of potential real estate investors. And I've come to find that they fall into two categories. There's the category of the person that actually holds themselves accountable and leans on the correct people to be held accountable, and they do all of these steps that I've talked about, and usually after setting their mind on buying a rental property, they go from knowing hardly anything about real estate to purchasing that property in 1 to 2 months. Now, there's another kind of person, and this is the kind of person that constantly finds problems. They constantly say, this is the reason that I'm not doing it. They could have everything put in front of them, and they still aren't going to do it, and they stay in this state literally forever. They're constantly asking the same questions, getting held up on the same problems, and never reverse engineering what needs to be done and then holding themselves accountable or finding proper help to be held accountable to reach their end goal. I don't want this to sound harsh, but if you're struggling to find deal flow, odds are you're just hopping onto the MLS or Zillow, looking through, saying, oh, crap, there's no good deals, and doing that day after day after day. You're not going and creating a CRM. You're not going and creating a list of people to go and reach out to that meet your potential buy box. You're not sending out mailers. You're not driving for dollars. You're not connecting with realtors and wholesalers. You're not following up with realtors and wholesalers. And you're definitely not putting in consistent offers to try and get to a place where you can get one of those offers accepted. And even if you have put in offers, most likely if you've had those offers accepted, you're backing out. So what my challenge to you is get very, very specific with all of the things that I've talked about. Create your buy box, get your financing in place, get management in place, and get to a place where you know if you find a property that meets that criteria that you're looking for, that you will buy. Now, the next big step of this is go and figure out how you're going to create that deal flow. This means going in consistently sending out mailers, following up with realtors, driving for dollars, all of these things that I've talked about, and then create a plan on how many hours a day you're going to spend doing these things, who you need to hire to be able to do these things. If you're going to hire someone, you don't need to hire someone. You can do this on your own. And then say how many offers you're going to put in. Even if you're doing this and you're not finding off-market deals, make sure that on a consistent basis you're putting in offers where a property that's listed on the MLS would meet your criteria if you got an offer accepted at a certain price. I think that's the craziest thing for me is there are so many people that say, Chandler, I just am not finding any deal flow. And I ask them, how many offers have you put in this week? And they say, well, none. It's like, look, there's properties on the MLS at the very bare minimum. You should be putting in offers where that property would meet your criteria because there are always properties on the MLS. And even if you're lowballing, you should at least be putting those offers out there. And that's the very, very minimum that you could be doing. And so if you're not at least doing that, it's really hard for you to say, oh, there's no deal flow. Now, if you can't tell, I'm exhausted by this question and it's been a really long day. But the reason I wanted to make this video is it's really not that complicated. If you know what your end goal is, you have your buy box and you create those mini steps and you hold yourself accountable, you're going to get to a place where you can buy. Now, if it's the education you lack, if it's the community you lack, I've got just the thing for you. I created the Creative Cashflow Club, and it has been an absolute dream to be able to connect with tons of real estate investors and actually help to hold them accountable, to be able to answer their questions, and to help them get to a point where they know if they find the right property, they're going to buy it because they actually know what the right property is. Now, there's so much content that I've put here on YouTube where you can figure out how to create a buy box. You can figure out how to analyze a rental property, how to do due diligence, how to do all of these things. They're also included in my real estate investing course that's in the community. But the only reason I brought the community up is you can come and join us, or you just need to find someone that will hold you accountable, or you just need to hold yourself accountable. But if you're one of those people that has been wanting to buy real estate and you're saying there's no deals and you've been saying it for years, all I can say to you is either crap or get off the pot. There's so many resources available, whether that's me in this community or someone else, but I'm begging you, just do it. Just do it! Because I promise you, if you put the steps in place, they're going to yield a deal. And if you pull the trigger on that deal, investing in real estate will forever change your life. And I'm just a huge believer in it. And that's why I'm here sharing this video. That's why I've created the community. But you don't need any of this. You just need to man up and do the things that I've said in this video. And if you do, you're going to find a great deal and you're going to be super stoked when you finally close on that property. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to remember to like, subscribe, hit the little bell, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the future videos. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night.